And we back.
Oh,
And we back,
And we back.
we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we and we back, and we back. Hey, this ain't no intro.
it's the entree.
That intro with
Kanye, I swear like Andre.
Tryna turn my baby mama
To
to
my
my fiance.
fiance.
She like music, she from Houston, like Auntie Beyonce. Man, my daughter couldn't have a better mother. If she ever find another, you better love.
What's
Yeah.
up, guys? We back.
The boys, come on. Man, who
Smite.
was that?
Who was that?
Who was that?
It was
We
Chance
know who
the
that
Rapper,
is.
baby.
Oh yeah, it was.
Greatest rapper out there right now.
Chano,
Hashtag
baby.
Heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Chano. The boys are back. Mike and Lebs talk football, everybody. Thank you guys for listening. Man, it was a good day for some football, wasn't it, Mike?
It was a great 2 days for some football.
The Champions League is here. The semifinals are upon us. Watching them, I get. It's not FOMO, but it's just paino. I don't know, because I'm just watching it. I watched Liverpool put the smackdown on Roma yesterday, and I was just like, oh man, if only City could have bettered Liverpool. We could have smacked Roma as hard as you guys, I think. But y'all deserve it. You're there. So
You have a favorite not who you think's gonna win, but who are you pulling for?
I was pulling for Roma, totally
Right.
purely out of spite and salt and hatred.
Yeah.
I was pulling for Roma though, because Edin Dzeko and Kolarov, two ex-City players, play on that team, and they look like they still got it. Kolarov doesn't have any legs, so running back, he left Roma super exposed on his side multiple times yesterday, which is why we got rid of him. But dude, Dzeko with his goal, did you see that touch he had off his chest? Oh, come on. So, yeah, rooting for Roma. So let's just get straight into it, man. Talk to me about your feelings before the game yesterday and what you expected. I loved your videos that you did, by the way. That was very enjoyable. I hope our listeners enjoyed that. But give me more of a preview for those who didn't see it.
So coming into the match, at this point in the season, our team pretty much selects itself, for injuries, for, best 11. We put our best 11 out there, barring like having Lallana in there or Chan, who I think would have made it into that lineup. But going into that match, I wasn't quite as nervous as I was for City. Playing you guys, it was very much like two good teams. This could go either way. With Roma, it's very much more so like we are better than this team man for man, and we should get the result, which kind of makes you more nervous in a different way. You can't really play that underdog role like we, utilize really well against City, I feel like. So going in, I felt good. First leg at Anfield, but that extra pressure with we've got to get some part of the tie done there. Yeah, and just to even flip around to post match, if you would have said, "Hey, 5-2, would you take it?" I'm like, "You bet your ass I would take that every day." So it's weird. It kind of feels you get like that's the most down I've ever felt about a 5-2 win for sure, or a win period. But the next day, and I'm sure the players felt the same way because it was kind of just two lapses in concentration. I would really say one lapse in concentration, but we'll get to that.
Man, Liverpool, I mean, as a fan, as I'm speaking as if I were a Liverpool fan. If I was a Liverpool fan sitting there, I've never been happier to see the end of a game than the end of that one. Because if you guys had played another 15 minutes, I think Roma would have scored one more, maybe two more times. I mean, it was like incredible how they turned it on at the end. Do you think that was due to y'all running out of gas some? Because that's been some criticism levied at Klopp's teams in the past. Do you think you ran out of gas, or what? Or was it just, I don't know, something else? Lapses of concentration, like you said.
I think it's interesting. So you'll definitely, I agree. Like when you play at a tempo like that, you do naturally run out of gas. And I mean, we talk about it like a lapse in concentration. We'll talk about the Dzeko goal. Like, Dzeko basically peeled away from Lovren, right? And, like, that was what made that goal. And Lovren misjudged the header. I mean, we still had 8 men behind the ball at that time. It's not like we were sending everyone up or being really foolish. And same thing for the penalty. We had 9 men behind the ball. So we were in the right places and defending, doing the right thing. It's not like we collapsed. It's disappointing, but it's not the same as something. I'll compare it to old Liverpool. Do you remember when we beat you guys 4-3? That was old Liverpool, where I feel like we were in the process of collapsing, basically.
Right. We were so close to evening that game up at the end. Aguero had a header go like a foot wide. There was like 3 chances that we almost drew that game against you guys. So that was a collapse, yeah.
And that was like, and it wasn't reflective of the game. We just, like, last 20. I mean, Gundogan scored like in the 80-something minute, and then you scored another goal like in the 90th minute. Like, it was, or maybe that was opposite. I can't remember who scored what.
Yeah, we piled 3 goals in the span of like 10 or 15 minutes there at the end to bring it back. So no, I totally agree with what you're saying.
So for this game, for me, it still feels like our unit was intact, so to speak. We weren't collapsing. I just felt like it was Lovren's lapse in concentration there. And I mean, that's also and like, I'll give credit, like, that's something Dzeko does. He plays on the heel of that defender and pulls off. He did the exact same thing against Barca. You know, as far as like giving credit where credit's due, but also like saying we could have prevented it. I mean, I feel like we could talk about every goal that's ever happened and say this could have been prevented if you did this. So I'd give some credit there. Did you see the Milner penalty?
I did, and that's just one of those things. You know, Milner hustles his absolute butt off every second of every game, and he was doing what he always does, hustling, trying to get in the way to block the shot. And it's hard when you're doing that lateral movement for your arm not to come out like that. So I don't think it was intentional, but it was a penalty in my opinion, and just one of those things. So I don't think that was as a result of any system error or out of gas or anything like that.
And like, for me, like that, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. That felt a little bit harsh to me. That felt like ball to hands, so to speak, but it doesn't. In the end, it doesn't matter. And it was a really well taken penalty. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So I guess we can just kind of talk into the analysis of this game and where I think we excelled and Roma went wrong.
Yes. I do want you to talk about that, and let me ask you the question so I can phrase it specifically.
Okay.
Did Roma's manager make a mistake in how he set them up?
Yes. And I watched BBC Sport. There's some really good guys on there. You got Ferdinand, Lampard, Gerrard. And Ferdinand basically said it's like he hasn't watched Liverpool play all season. He's like, why would you set your team up like that? And
sorry to interrupt you, Messi's doppelganger who is managing Roma. Did you see that, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Have you seen a picture of him, the Roma manager? Did you see it during the game?
Are you talking about like the guy with kind of the thick glasses, right? Francesco?
Yeah. He literally, to me, he looks like Leo Messi with a beard and glasses. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but he is like an older, bearded, bespectacled Messi doppelganger, in my opinion. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. But yeah, it literally, I agree with you. It looked like he had never watched Liverpool, or he was just naive and was like, hey, this is how we play. We're going to go out there and do it like we always have. But, I mean, they did I'll let you talk about it. But, I mean, when I saw them high pressing, and it was not working at all.
Here's the thing, and you already have alluded to it. They played 3 backs, and Kolarov is one of your backs. If you don't have pace, like, you're in trouble if you're going to play that kind of press. So really the first 20, 25 minutes, I thought Roma looked kind of capable, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a battle, 2 teams battling. But, and I've been thinking about this, like, what triggered it in this game? So Ox, terrible, gutted for this guy. He's out for the World Cup, he's out for the year, and he's...
what did he do? What was the injury?
Yeah, I think it was a ligament tear.
He has had an amazing season, man. I really like the guy. He has destroyed City every time he's played us, but I really like him. I think he's class. man, I'm gutted for him. That sucks.
I don't know which ligament it was, but it says he's out for up to 6 to 8 months. I mean, it must have been a cruciate ligament. Yeah,
dude,
terrible.
this was the best season I think he's had in his entire career, in my opinion.
He would have started the final. He would have started in the World Cup for England.
I hate that.
So what happened was, and this is where I think the game changed and we started stretching Roma. We had to sub Wijnaldum in.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the match again and looking back. Wijnaldum was making these insane runs without the ball. He was running into the back. He was all over their center backs and stuff without the ball. And then you can kind of see them drop that extra 10 feet to accommodate that extra man. And I think as soon as that happened, combined with our increased intensity, and also we game planned a certain way, I think that's when we started kind of springing that trap on them. And they didn't adjust. Basically what happened was I think Roma's game plan was, let's stack our midfield. This is the same midfield that dominated Barca in the second leg. And, our midfield's better than Liverpool's, which there's an argument for that, so we're going to do that. And Liverpool basically, we're not interested in playing it in the midfield. And we were consistently feeding the ball to Salah, Mane, and Wijnaldum was making these runs, and we basically totally nullified De Rossi, Nangolan, and Florenzi. They didn't even get to hardly play in this game the way our approach came to them. And I think that's a testament to Klopp for, game planning for his opponent while also still playing our game.
It was beautiful because it was like a warm knife through butter, man. I mean, it was just full bypass the midfield. Your runners were running. I mean, that's Liverpool football. And this team has an identity this season that they've always been trying to get to, and we've seen it in spurts, but we haven't seen it for this long. And this Champions League run that you guys have put together is something really, really cool to watch, just to see the way that the style of Liverpool is being imposed on teams. You guys did the same thing. It looked to me like a similar style of play against Roma that you used against us, and it's very effective when you get it going. And when you're finished, when you got Mo Salah finishing every single chance that he gets, I mean, come on. That's how you get 5-2. That's how you beat City 5-1. I mean, that's how it works.
What do you think of De Rossi's coming out, and it feels like a kind of a salty comment. And his comment was, Liverpool constantly went for the long ball. What do you...
Yeah.
Because it's, we talk about West Ham playing long ball, and then De Rossi talks about Liverpool playing long ball. What's the difference?
And to not be hypocritical, that's something that the City players have said about Liverpool, about Man United. Pretty much any time we got beat, the players came out and were like, well, they just went for the long ball. And my argument is, so if you play a high line like we do, then that's the best way to beat you is with the long ball. So what's the problem? It's some sort of insult in the football world. You can't play, enough passes to play through the midfield, and so you just go route one over the top or whatever. Man, who cares? People have been winning that way for a long time, and I mean, I just think it's hypocritical to say you can only play one way. And but it's, I guess, one of those salty comments, because that's what it is, and that's what it sounds like, that you can make that I guess somehow works in the footballing world, but I don't see it. I don't think that logic flies. If it works,
I don't think so either. Like you said, it was knife through butter. We almost did not have an attack. Just talking about any attack that we did not end up outside of Roma's box. So I mean, the long ball is really easy to defend. If it was that simple,
right? You
drop your line and you man up and clear it out, because if it's a long ball, that's easy. It wasn't, and it's not. It's what you said basically. It's trying to take a jab at Liverpool.
Yeah, and I mean,
when really it was utterly total domination, nothing else.
Up until that end, up until that Dzeko goal went in, and then it was that's the beauty of this sport, man. Oh, when that Dzeko goal went in and those Roma fans started going crazy, and you could see the nerves of the Liverpool fans, you could palpably feel it just even through the screen. It was like, oh boy, there's some nervous energy that came in here. These fans have seen this team collapse before. And then next thing you know, Roma pouring the pressure on, and Liverpool have everybody behind the ball. And then that, penalty happens, and the penalty goes in, and I'm like, whoa, 2 goals, this is a comeback, like, oh my gosh. But the 90-minute whistle came just in time, and I think you guys were saved by the bell. I really do. Give it another 15 minutes, I think they would have scored again. But that's okay, like that's you can play it that way. And that's when they take it back to Rome, we'll see what they can do. But the momentum swings in this sport are just unbelievable. So it wasn't total domination the whole time, but it was men amongst boys for 70 minutes. So, what else were you thinking about that you wanted to bring up? I mean, Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't.
So,
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, pretty much, I thought that Mane had a fantastic game. Firmino had a fantastic game. I thought that Bobby just works tirelessly the entire time. I just the front three really played up to their potential in this game.
Yeah, like you basically. Okay, so we were talking about the manager. I mean,
yeah.
the manager set them up for failure. It's like, hey, what is the best formation Roma could play for you to succeed? It's exactly what they played today. Play a high line, isolate your back three, and set it up in a way where we can bypass and, Salah can just have a go at their, one of their back defenders. And, like, I felt bad for them. They were looking around, they were confused, they were running up to the coach, asking for suggestions. He didn't seem to know what to do. He didn't make any halftime adjustments. Oh, he did. They were playing 2 strikers in the second half. And then I think, like you said, I think when we finally had to let the gas off a little bit, and that's, ebb and flow in the game, that those 2 goals sunk in. And I'd rather just, we didn't give them any glimmer of hope. That could have been 8-9-0 around the 60th minute, but it is what it is. Mohamed Salah, great players. He's been at this great, consistent level all this year, and he keeps elevating his game each match. We're talking about a Champions League semifinal. His finish for the first goal, I mean, that's just unreal. Second goal, he's full sprint, and a lot of players, like what Mane did in this game, he missed a pretty clear chance. When you're at full sprint and you're getting the ball, you kind of snap at it to finish. Salah, the whole game slows down for him, and he just chips the keeper there. And go ahead.
That was the most, everybody's relating him to Messi, but it's so easy to relate him to Messi because he reminds you of Messi. The way that he runs, that chip, that was a Messi chip.
Yeah.
Did you not think so? That
was a Messi goal, dude.
It was a Messi goal. Just that pure, beautiful, smooth run straight in, and you knew as soon as the keeper came out, I'm sitting there yelling at the screen, "Don't go out! He wants you to go out! Don't go out!" Keeper goes straight out into no man's land, and Mo just effortlessly chips him right into the corner. It's like, Mo, the goal's open, you don't have to put it into the corner, but he does anyway. God.
Everyone in the stadium knew he was going to score. He knew he was going to score. The keeper knew he was going to score. That's his streak right now. He's in that purple patch of a season where it's just And so the most remarkable thing though for me is when he assisted. I don't remember if it was Firmino or Mane, but Salah's on a hat trick, and he could shoot that and go for goal there, and instead he crosses it for another player. He has the intelligence to see what the best decision is there instead of snapping and going for the hat trick, which is what most players would do. I'm running out of things to say about him. He's an incredible human, incredible footballer, incredible teammate. He tracks back, he defends, he's in there for a tackle. I mean, this whole team's remarkable. We look like, I don't know, you talk about the end of a season and teams kind of wearing down. We look as fit as we've ever been. And I don't know what's changed with the Klopp, with the nutrition or what. I remember when he took over and we had 5 hamstring injuries in the first month. And now, if it's his training regimen or what, I mean, you talk about a 32-year-old in James Milner covering the most distance in the field and becoming one of our most integral players.
Absolute workhorse. Always has been and always will be until he hangs his boots up. He's he hurts me so badly, and I've said this to you. I don't think I've really talked about it on air, but and you already know this, so this is for the people listening. James Milner was my favorite player, or not my favorite. Kun Aguero has always been my favorite player, but James Milner was the player that I always told Mike ever since we started our friendship. That's the guy that if I was a pro footballer, that's who I want to be, is James Milner. That's who I could be, and that's who I want to be. Because is he the most talented? No. Does he have the best touch? No. But what does he do? He works harder than anyone else, always. He is an absolute workhorse. He runs every single game. He gives you 150%. Is he super creative? No. But he's going to do everything he can to move the ball around. He's incredibly unselfish. And he's a perfect squad player. And when we sold him, it was because he wanted to play in the center of midfield, and we had Kevin De Bruyne coming on. We had David Silva. We had a wealth of midfielders playing there. We wanted to keep him. We tried to sign him over an extended period of time, offered him a bunch of different contracts. We worked with him, and he turned everything down to go to Liverpool because he said they offered him to play in the center of the park. Well, what happens? He doesn't get to play in the center of the park at Liverpool. He plays left back for a really, really long time. Now, again, that speaks to his class because he's willing to play anywhere on the pitch.
And capable.
Absolutely. And we could have used him playing at left back for us because we've had so many problems with that. But he chose, to leave. And the way that this is the difference between City fans and Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans will infect the entire nation with this idea that Raheem Sterling is somehow a snake and do everything they can to destroy him, whereas City fans have been mostly respectful of James Milner, where it gave him standing ovations every time he came to see us, every time he came back to the Etihad, up until the moment when he scored against us and did the most ridiculous, over-the-top celebration on his first goal against us, some sort of rodeo cowboy celebration, lassoing in the air. And he made me so mad, I will curse his name.
Context, this
until
was 2 years ago.
The day he dies. I do not care. I despise him now. I will give him his due for how great of a player he is, and I will say the things that are due to him, but I cannot stand the man. That is despicable. We gave him everything. We did everything for him. We treated him the exact opposite of the way Liverpool treats Raheem Sterling, and he spit in our faces. So
Salty
I'm
sea dog. Roaming the seas, the blue sea salty dog.
Bro, you cannot sit here and tell me that there is a single bit of difference. But you cannot tell me that Milner doing that and Sterling, that those situations are not related. And the difference between the way that the fans have reacted, I think, shows the basis of the fans. But anyway, I'd say massive tangent. James Milner plays really well.
Milner was a free agent. Sterling was not, and we offered Sterling like $150,000, and he said, I think this is what irritated people. I'm not saying the booing's okay, but it's obviously been effective, so who knows what they'll do with that. Sterling made some like incredible comments, like, how dare they offer me that much, like, whatever, he's worth more than that. So I think it's different, but it doesn't matter.
Hey, whatever. We see where he ended up, and we see where Sterling's ended up, and we see who's hoisting the Premier League trophy this year, so... Hey, it's all good.
Salty sea dog, Captain Lebron, roaming the seven seas, the blue seas.
All right, we'll move on. Yeah, Liverpool, though, seriously, you guys played amazing, and it's exciting. It is exciting to see an English team represent England really well in the Champions League. So, I want to go ahead. I do have one more thing I wanted to ask you.
Go for it. Yeah, I didn't want to get off this match because I had a question for you, so go for it.
We were sitting there texting during the game, and I right before the Dzeko goal went in, I'm like, so who do you want to face in the final? And as soon as I say that, the Dzeko goal goes in, and I'm like, yes, I effectively jinxed it. Let's go, Roma. But seriously though, who would you rather face in the final, Real Madrid or Bayern?
I don't know. It all feels like a novelty at this point. Who do we have a better chance of beating? And I'll talk more about this Real Madrid Bayern game today.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and move to that?
No, I have a question for you, and then
I'll answer that, and then we'll move.
Do you think Roma has a chance in this match?
Absolutely, 100%. They're going home, back to Italy. They're 3 goals down with 2 away goals. I think they can absolutely win 4-1 if they play it right. If they set up a little bit better and they're able to counteract the supply to the front 3. I don't know. Instead of playing a back 3, they need to play a more normal system at the back, and have all 4, both of their right back and their left back there with the center backs, and they need to try to break on the counter a little bit better. But they have a chance, absolutely. This is the Champions League. They're going to give it 1,000%, and I'm excited for the game because I think it'll be fun.
They definitely have a chance. Like, yeah, that's not a
4-1. Come on, this is the Champions League. Like stranger things have happened.
Do you think you'd say that if it didn't just happen to Barca?
I mean, I'd say it regardless. Even not, yeah, Barca makes it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that the two situations relate because Liverpool's not going to come into this cocky like Barca did.
Yeah.
And when I say it could happen, I give it a 10% chance, maybe even 5% chance. 5 to 10% chance that it happens. So I give it a 90 to 95% chance that Liverpool go through this with a 3-goal lead.
I think Roma will perform a lot better for sure. I could see us losing this match, but I see us scoring at least 2 goals because Roma has the impetus and they have to attack. Period.
They do, and they're at home.
Great for us.
They're at home, so their fans are going to want them to attack. They're going to come out blazing from the whistle.
And I think that's going to make for an extraordinary match, and it's going to be fun.
Anyone who doesn't tune in doesn't like good football.
And yeah, exactly. Same. Yeah, 2 teams that are going to play, and that's the thing. I'm like, we still won 5-2. Like, it feels like it. Definitely, the only time I'll probably ever be disappointed with the 5-2 win. But it didn't have to be that way. But it'll be good, and I think it'll be why not have another test before the final if we make it to the final? Just to kind of get that grit in there. But I think so prediction.
Yeah. I just gave that it's a 5 to 10% chance. So honestly, I think back myself into a corner. I can't really predict a Roma win. I mean, I could, but I just honestly don't see it. I think Liverpool are going to do it. I bet it'll be. The head says Liverpool are going to win 4-3. Liverpool are going to win 4-3. That's what I think. I'm trying to hang on. I want to think about who I think is going to score, how the flow of the game is going to go. I think Roma's going to come out and be put really hard on early and get an early goal. I think it's going to be a repeat of the City-Liverpool second leg. I think Roma are going to get an early goal, and then Liverpool are going to sit back and soak up some pressure. They're going to break on the counterattack, and I could see them scoring in the first half. So actually, I'm going to 3-2 Liverpool. That's my final.
Man, and so with you saying that, and this is what I thought for City. I'm like, man, if we can get through this in the second leg, if we can get through this first half in one piece, we're good. And I think the first half is going to be so key for Roma. We're something about Klopp's halftime talks. We come back in like the game just started. So I think Roma needs to get. For Roma to go through, I think they need to get at least 2 goals in the first half without us scoring. That's my thought.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to predict. Man, I like yours though. I'm going to say 2-2. I think somewhere around that scoreline is going to be.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be cool. Salah didn't celebrate against Roma. I think he'll be so well received, and I think it's going to be, like you said, tune into this match. Both teams are going to be attacking. They love Salah. He loves Roma. He's playing for Liverpool, Champions League semifinal. Please watch the match.
I wonder how James Milner felt watching Mo Salah not celebrate against his old team.
Oh,
that must have felt weird for him. Is that what class looks like? Man.
Oh my God.
All right. I had to get that in there. I'm sorry. I had to. I had to.
So Milner broke the Champions League record for assists. Just wanted. Shout out James Milner. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's amazing? Three-fourths of those assists were with Manchester City. Wow.
No, for one season.
Oh, okay.
Set
Really?
a new record for Champions League assist in a single season.
How many did he get?
Well, okay, hey, good question. What would your guess be? What would set the record for? We're talking group stage to possible final for previous record holders.
9.
It's 9. You're right.
I swear I guessed.
I know you guessed. I believe you.
That's amazing.
So
I'm a genius.
Not to rile the old Sea Dog up again, but Milner's doing his thing. So you asked me which team would I rather face, and I got to watch a full 90 minutes today, and I don't think either team were on their best. Would you agree with that?
I think it was a clash of titans today, and that it was an absolute chess match. And so at their best, no, because I don't think either team was. I think they were counteracting each other a lot.
Yeah.
This was I worked a half day. I work a half day on Wednesdays. Worked a half day today, and I got in the car, and my lovely wife drove me back to the house after lunch today so that I could watch the game on my phone. And she goes, "Ooh, who's playing today?" And I was like, "Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid." And she goes, "Oh, what do you think about the game?" And I'm like, "Clash of the Titans right here. Clash of the absolute Titans. Both teams have had massive success. Yep, pedigree, success in this competition." That's one thing that the announcers on Fox Sports were talking about, the number of players from those two teams that are going to feature and be starting in the starting 11 for their respective clubs, or their respective countries in the upcoming World Cup. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, these are the closest thing to all-star teams, you can get, and it showed out there. But yeah, I don't think they were at their best because it was very tactical. It was chess matchy. It was back and forth. I mean, it was fun to watch, but it reminded me kind of a baseball game where there's a lot of small moves that are being made trying to get an advantage. What did you think?
So it was like you said, I'm excited to watch that match. It's disappointing going in because the number of pretty catastrophic injuries that Bayern have right now. I wish. They're missing David Alaba. They're missing Vidal. Robin goes out of that match pretty early. Boateng, maybe the best center back in the world right now, goes out, early in the match. So, man, I really thought. Okay, so I'll answer your first question. After watching today's match, who would I rather face in the final? I think I'd rather face Real Madrid.
And
Interesting. And I will say why. So today I saw a team. I don't see a real identity within Madrid. I see soaking up pressure and counterattacking, right? And that's kind of what they do. And they have those huge stars that come in big moments. And I think a team that would sit back and wait for us to attack, I think that could be deadly. As long as I'm talking about the final. I can't do that. But
yes, you can. We're suspending jinxes. We're talking about the final. I asked you to do it.
If we do not go in there to fear the Real Madrid jersey or the Real Madrid name, if we do not fear that, and I think we do our thing, and I think Klopp, he's a man manager. He'll have you so hyped up, run into this building. You will get your players to do that. And I think if we go in not fearing that jersey, I think we can beat them.
Okay, but you contradicted yourself. You said I'd rather face Real Madrid, and then you said team that soaks up pressure and counterattacks. See, I think that you just gave an argument against facing Real Madrid and that you should greatly rather see Bayern Munich in your sights. In fact, everything you said makes me think you should play Bayern Munich if you want to win. A team that you match up better against Bayern. Bayern are closer to Man City. I always bring it back to City because you guys play better against Man City than you play against any team in the world, in my opinion. Do you think there's a team that you play better against than City?
What's the deal with that too, man? It's just written in the stars.
It's style though as well. It's you want to play a team that wants to hold on to the ball because you guys are one of the best counterattacking teams, if not the best counterattacking team in the entire world. And
but today we weren't. Roma, we were not counterattacking.
Right.
We were attacking and taking it too.
That's true. But if you play against Bayern, they want the ball. They still play in a very Pep style. And they pass the ball around the back, very similar to the way that we do, quite a bit. And they still have you can see the remnants of Pep being there. And you guys, I think, would match up perfectly against them, especially with their injuries that they've got right now. And Real Madrid, to me, looked like they were going to win it again, in my opinion, watching them. Like you said, the stars. See, I disagree when you say there's not an identity. I think there is an identity. I think Zidane has got them playing in a way that allows them to soak up pressure and then allows this ridiculously star-studded attacking lineup to break with an incredible ferocity. And I think that's who you should look out for. I think you should be very scared to come up against Real Madrid. I think you guys could beat Bayern.
So the two goals that came, so Asensio, okay, so the first goal was, did you see him?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first goal was Marcelo.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like a header back across the box, a bounce, and then a hit. That just felt like it was very much against the run of play right there. It wasn't a counter. I do agree they're primarily a counterattacking team.
Yeah.
So that, and then the Asensio goal was from a bad mistake from Rafinha. And then, so right then, so yeah, it was a mistake from Rafinha, and they countered, and it was deadly. And as soon as they got the ball, you knew they were going to score because that's their jam.
Yep.
I still, so really my answer is I still think we match well against both. I think we'll win it when we go in because the way we're playing right now and the belief there. Okay, so the thing with Bayern today, like how many chances did they have? They could have been, if they would have put their chances away, I don't know what was going on. They could have been up 4-0. Or 4 whatever. They could have had 4 goals. Ribery uncharacteristic with his touch, and Lewandowski missing 2 one-on-ones. Like a header, a point-blank header, you expect him to score.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
They especially were not at their best. And I agree. The more I think about it, when you say both teams weren't at their best, the missed chances, especially from Bayern, absolutely, that was uncharacteristic.
So this game, I don't know. I feel like Bayern really missed the mark today. This was their chance to win this tie because Madrid are the better team, and they went out last year to Madrid. Madrid were the better team, but on paper they're the better team. But Bayern played better today. As weird as that sounds, they didn't put their chances away. I think this tie is pretty much done. I don't see a way back. 2 away goals going to the Bernabeu. Your thoughts on that?
I totally agree. Bayern do have a chance, but I would be very surprised. I give this one a 30% chance that Bayern win it. Yeah. 70% that Real Madrid win it. They really blew it today. They really did because they had to win at home if they were going to go through. I think a 2-1 victory would have been fine because I think they are capable of going to the Bernabeu and setting up shop, parking the bus, and keeping it to maybe not a 0-0 but a 1-1. I think is possible for them, but I just don't see them winning the game. So what would they need? It was 2-1 today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they won the game 2-1, so if they win the game 2-1, it'll go to OT.
Yeah,
I think that's possible. Them 2-1. I think that's possible, but that's very 30% chance that happens.
There's something about Madrid. They haven't been great in league play this year. Barca beat them in the league quite handedly. And there's something about them in the Champions League, like this volition to win.
Yep. They're special. Real Madrid in the Champions League is special. Ronaldo always shows up. And speaking of which, boy, he had a quiet game.
That's my concern. I think with Milner, Wijnaldum, and Henderson running in there, I think we can match up with their midfielders. I think we can match up on Modric. We've shown we can do it against De Bruyne and Fernandinho, who are up there in midfield pairs. It's Ronaldo. Ronaldo peeling just like Dzeko peeling off Lovren. That scares me. Ronaldo will sit there and ride you Like, that's how his game has changed. He's not looking to drag the ball in from halfway mark. He's up there almost playing like a striker. That's the terrifying thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, he had a handball goal, but I mean, it was a wonderful goal. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Left-footed. I was like,
that,
God.
Golly, that dude needs a quarter chance. He doesn't even need a half chance.
No,
a quarter chance, and it's going in. Which is why, and this is a conversation we need to have. You put your cards on the table on social media yesterday, and announced that you believe that Mohamed Salah should possibly win the Ballon d'Or. And I think you do have a good argument. I'm not going to say you don't. But golly, when you see Cristiano Ronaldo doing the things that he does, it's like, oh man, I don't know. It's just tough. It's tough because him, Messi, and Salah are all so good. Messi, Ronaldo, Salah.
Yeah, I won't say he should win it. I'm saying with this year, he should be in the conversation as much as those guys. Like, that's what I would say. And if he wins the Champions League, that's a very compelling argument.
Yeah. And I agree.
Ballon d'Or, we talk about year by year, but what makes Messi and Ronaldo so special? This year that Salah's having, that he's doing all those things, this is Messi and Ronaldo for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
Scoring this many goals. So that's what makes greats of all time. But Ballon d'Or, more or less, you're supposed to look in isolation. How do you do that when you look at a player like Messi who's been elevated for so long? But it'll be interesting for sure.
Just the way that Ronaldo, it's any goal, any way, he can do anything. I mean, that was a left-footed. He intentionally hit across the ball outside of the boot with the left foot to curl it around the keeper and into the side netting. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, yeah. I mean, he needs a quarter chance, and it's going in the back. Period. He's ice cold
with his quote-unquote weak leg.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a weak foot. Messi does have a weak foot.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So here's something about Messi and Salah that's so interesting to me. Like, to score, he's got to get on his left foot. It's no mystery. But the way they shimmy and move out, like Messi and Salah take you one way, take you the other way, take you back, and then they're gone. Like,
Yeah. They're going to the left foot, and yet there's nothing you can do to stop them from doing it. Because if you do let them go to the right, they'll finish with the right as well.
Yeah.
But yet somehow they always get it back to the left in the end. Yeah, it's amazing. Watching them shake and shimmy on the ball is exactly what you said. It's crazy. So beautiful.
Just a shout out to a player that I think is the best in the world in his position, Marcelo. I think he's the best left back in the world, just hands down. The dude is massive. He's so powerful and strong. He gets up. He's a pretty quick sprinter. The only thing people would say is he can leave your defense exposed sometimes. But I think, any team would take that because he's also a good defender. The dude is just incredible.
So I didn't know if we were going to do a dirty talk segment today, but the dirtiest thing I've seen in the last 2 days was a little clip that I saw today after the game where it was a cross-field ball from the right back of Real Madrid, right back or the right center back, all the way across to Marcelo on the in left back position, all the way on the left side, and he trapped it under his foot with no bounce perfectly. Have you seen that?
I was watching it live and I was like, ooh.
Oh golly, his touch. He's so Brazilian in everything that he does. His touch though is absolutely incredible. He is a classic Brazilian in that he really has a way for a dive very often. He's very dramatic, and those are the things I don't like about him. But it's almost worth it when you get to see this amazing flair that he plays with.
Dirty talk.
Think about it while I talk for a second about what's happening this weekend. So this weekend, Manchester City get to come back to the Etihad, and it's going to be the presentation of the trophy. It'll be our third trophy, third Premier League trophy since 2012. It's been a really good run. City have risen from the basement of football. We were in the 3rd division 20 years ago, and with the influx of a lot of money, but also money well spent in good ways that has seen this club rise, have a very meteoric rise to now be up there amongst the greats, and to get to watch Vincent Kompany lift the trophy is going to be absolutely incredible. So I'm super, super excited for that. Swansea gave us a guard of honor in the game that we just played against them, where we absolutely smashed them, and that was cool to see. So I'm excited because I think some of the kids will get to play. We had a nice run out. Yaya Toure, this is his last season with us, so he's going to get a really nice send-off at the end of the year. He's possibly the greatest player to ever play in a City jersey.
Will he have like a birthday cake or something at the affair?
I hope that they make a joke out of it and there's a massive cake. That would be hysterical.
God.
It's so funny. But anyway, 8:15 this Sunday, we play West Ham, and it'll be at the London Stadium. I was told that we're going to get to lift the trophy this weekend, so I hope I'm not leading everyone astray. You know what? It's not this weekend. It's the next weekend. I'm totally sorry. We play West Ham this weekend at the London Stadium. We go back to the Etihad after that, and we get to lift the trophy next weekend. My apologies. But anyway, it's exciting to see that we had a good run out. Phil Foden got to play over the weekend and absolutely looked amazing. So up the Blues. Excited. It's fun to see us continue to play well, even though the championship's already won. But you got anything for Dirty Talk? Because we're almost done.
Yeah, we're almost done. Check your Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
So, Dirty Talk for me, I mean, like, so many memories this season in the Champions League. I'll never forget this season. Win or lose against Roma, win or lose the final. It's been incredible from where we came last year. And I would have, at the beginning of the year, I made a goal in my head. I said, man, if we make the top 4 and we make it out of our group in Champions League, like, that's a jump. So, for where we've come, So, I'm watching, and Salah having this insane game. He's already scored 2 goals. And he takes the ball off the right wing, comes through, does a roulette to pass a player, shimmies out of another tackle, and everyone's chanting, Salah, Salah. That just felt so, I'm not going to call it dirty because it felt so pure, but it was just a beautiful moment in the game right there.
And I see the message you sent me with it's Mo holding a smoking gun at Roma and then holding his hands up like he did for his celebration, like I didn't do anything.
It's funny to be like, it's just, I mean, it's within the game, like you play as a professional, but just absolutely destroyed the team. But, I'm not going to celebrate, though, but I absolutely just turned you inside out.
Yeah, but that's the, what is it? What do they call it? Etiquette. That's the football etiquette, though. And you follow
it's cool,
it,
right? And he had It
is.
The football etiquette that not all players follow.
Not all players follow it, but the class ones do.
To each his own.
All right, brother. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, man. It's been a great pod, guys. We'll record again next week after the games, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your score prediction from? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Score prediction for what?
Score prediction: Madrid, Munich. I'm gonna say, off the cuff, I'll say 3-1 Madrid.
3-2 Madrid. I do think Madrid are going to win it. Little off, Jay, to send you guys home with. This is Mike and Lebs Talk Football. We'd love to hear from y'all. Have been getting some more direct messages on Instagram from people, so thank you so much. Keep those coming. Really appreciate the encouragement. And hope to hear from you guys soon.
See you soon, guys.
Thanks.